Kiesel. I'm an attorney and I work for JBS International as a contractor to the Children's Bureau. I work to support legal and judicial integration into the Child and Family Services Review and child welfare policy more broadly. Prior to this role, I was the Court Improvement Program Coordinator for the state of New York, as well as having represented children and parents in child welfare proceedings, and I also sat as a court attorney referee in a family court hearing cases of child abuse and neglect. When we talk about courts as being partners, I want to clarify that what we're really talking about is the legal and judicial systems and the legal and judicial professionals. We're talking about the lawyers, we're talking about the judges, we're talking about the court administrators, the CIP programs, and we're talking about institutional providers. So when we mention the courts, what we really want to keep in mind is that all of these individuals have unique roles and they all have a piece to bring to the conversation when we're talking about systems improvement. So please be mindful when you say courts and you think that there's collaboration with the courts, because we're collaborating maybe with a judge or maybe with a court improvement program, that there's lots of other players that we can integrate into the conversation so that we have a complete and holistic approach to systems change. In order to be effective in those roles, what that means to me is that we really have a deep understanding that by attending to the system needs, the child welfare system needs, that we're also attending to the individual case needs, the individual family's needs, and the individual child's needs, and all of those will benefit. We can attend to that system's needs and those individual needs by really integrating the work of the legal judicial processes into the work that's been traditionally held as the work of the agency. And I keep saying integrating, and I know we're very familiar with the term collaborating, but integration goes beyond collaboration. Collaborating is necessary, but not necessarily sufficient in order to truly make improvements for children and families. We're seeing some very strong examples of this integration when you examine what's been happening in round 3 of the CFSRs. We've got lawyers, judges, CIP programs going beyond just support for agencies' efforts and initiatives, but actually looking at their own data, examining what the needs are from the legal and judicial system perspective, and committing to strategies and interventions that are going to improve the overall system by making changes to the processes and practices that the lawyers are engaged in, that the judges are engaged in, that the CIP can help at the systems level and at the state level to effectuate those local practices. We're seeing efforts by the judges and the lawyers at reducing delays and continuances in cases. We're seeing programs that attend to improving the quality of hearings in child welfare cases. We're seeing lawyers who are committing to improving practice. So we're seeing some quality legal representation programs as well. This strong collaboration and efforts at integration are really very well grounded in data. Courts are improving their data sets and their use of data, and they're identifying what's working well so that we can replicate those. Also, what's our areas in need of improvement so that we can address those and hopefully provide better outcomes for all the children and families that we see in our courts.